So we'll pick up on the bottom of page 68 with example 3. First of all, an equation means, the equal sign means that the two sides of that equation are balanced. In order to keep the two sides balanced, we have to do the same thing on both sides. So we've done problems like this before. If we look at A, we draw a line down through the equal sign. It says minus 7. So we do the opposite operation. We would add 7 to both sides to keep it balanced. That leaves x on the left side and 17 on the right side. Example B has plus 6. The opposite operation would be minus 6 on both sides to keep it balanced. Gives us x on the left and 2 minus 6 on the right is negative 4. We'll skip these two and those two, and we'll look at example 4. So here we draw a line down. It's negative 3 times x, so we would divide both sides by negative 3. That leaves an x on the right, and 27 divided by negative 3 is a negative 9. It doesn't matter whether the letter is on the left or the right. It's still solved. Part B has x divided by 3 equals 13, so we would need to multiply by 3 on both sides. That leaves an x on the left, and 13 times 3 is 39. Let's look at C. It's negative x divided by 4 equals 5. Now divided by 4 means that we need to multiply both sides by 4. That still leaves me a negative x on the left, and that equals 20. So if I want to get rid of that negative x, I want the opposite of that, and that would mean that I need to do the opposite on the other side. If I change the sign over here, I need to change the sign over here. So that would give me a positive x and a negative 20 as my final answer. In D, I would just divide by the number in front, divide by a negative 5. The opposite operation of multiplication is division. And I would get a positive 5. E says x divided by 6 equals 6, so I need to multiply by 6. And that gives me x equals 36. F works the same way. It looks messy, but we're just dividing by 2.4 because it said multiply by 2.4. So 0.972 divided by 2.4 equals 0.405. These are the same thing. Example 5 is the same as what we've done previously. Let's look at D though, because that sometimes trips people up. We need to divide by the number that's in front of x. It says negative 16 times x, so we want to divide by negative 16. That leaves x on the right. And be careful, because negative 8 divided by negative 16 is 0.5. Don't get in such a hurry that you see the 8 and the 16 and you tell me the answer is 2. Because it doesn't make sense to say negative 16 times 2 is 8, right? That doesn't work. So what we're saying is negative 16 times 0.5 is negative 8. And that does make sense. Let's do one more of these just because these also sometimes trip people up. So this is negative a divided by 5, so I'm going to multiply by 5. That gives me 35 on the left and a negative a on the right. I don't want that a to be negative though. I want it to be the opposite of that, positive. So I can change the sign over here if I remember to change the sign over here. So that gives me a negative 35 and a positive a.